there it is. It's really nice. I actually thought it might have been a bit big, but it looks quite nice. Sorry about the shadow at the back, but that's the only way I can actually show you. Right, I've just shown you the lampshade that we will be doing. We're going to be making a granny square lampshade cover. And I've measured my lampshade and I need 14. So I've made 13 of these. And I've used 4 different colours. I've used my green, my orange, my beige and my grey. So I'll show you how to make one of these granny squares. It's really easy. Magic ring, clusters, double crochet and double crochet. So I'll get all this sorted out and then I'll come back to you and I'll tell you what we do next. So I've got the green, and I'm going to use that as the middle of these granny squares. So I'm going to make a magic ring. So you put your yarn over your 4 fingers, wrap it around your first 2 fingers, make sure you've got a cross on the top like that, get your hook and then just pull the yarn through and then you've got a circle. Because it's going to be double crochet, I'm just going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to need 11 double crochet plus the chain, that's 12. So altogether you're going to have 12 in the magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your hook, put your hook into this circle, grab your yarn through the circle. You've got 3 hooks. Sorry, you've got 3 hooks. You've got 3 stitches on the hook. Pull it through the first 2 and then pull it through the next 2. So wrap your yarn around the hook, put your hook into the circle, grab your yarn. You've got 3 stitches on your hook. Pull it through the first 2 and then pull it through the last 2. That's 4, 5, 6. I'll come back to you. So when you get to the end, you should have 12 double crochet, including your chain 2. So I'm nearly at the end of this magic ring. I'll just pull this. If you pull your tail, you can close your magic ring up a little bit. So this is going to be my last double crochet. So you wrap your yarn around your hook, put your hook into the circle, grab your yarn. You've got 3 stitches on your hook. Pull it through the first 2 and then pull it through the last 2. And then if you pull your yarn to close the circle up, put a slip stitch into your first chain there. Put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn, pull it through, then pull it through there, and then just pull that through. Get your scissors, cut your yarn, oops, pull the yarn through, and then put your hook underneath the chain, then grab your yarn, wrap your yarn around your hook, and then just pull that through, and then pull. There we go. So you should have 12 double crochets in this circle. So I'm just gonna sew these in and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you what we do next. Put a slip stitch in and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then wrap your yarn around your hook twice. Put your hook into the chain space of your chain 3. Pull your yarn through the first 2. Pull it through the next 2. Wrap your yarn around your hook twice. Put your hook underneath the chain space. Grab your yarn. Pull your yarn through the first 2 stitches and then through the next 2 stitches, then the next 2 stitches and then the last 2, and then chain 2. So that's your first treble cluster. So wrap your yarn around the hook twice, put your hook into the next chain space, grab the yarn, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2. You've got 2 stitches on your hook. Wrap your yarn around your hook twice, put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn. You've got 5 stitches on your hook. Pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, pull it through the next 2. You've got 2 stitches on your hook. Wrap your yarn around your hook twice, put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn. You've got 5 stitches on the hook. Wrap your yarn around your hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, pull it through the next 2, and then the last 2, chain 2. I'll just show you one more time. So you wrap your yarn around your hook, put your hook into your chain space underneath, then grab your yarn, pull it through. You've got 4 stitches on your hook. Pull it through the first 2, then pull it through the next 2. You've got 2 stitches on your hook. Wrap your yarn around the hook twice, put your hook into your chain space, grab the yarn, you've got 5 stitches on your hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, and then pull it through the next 2, and then wrap your yarn around your hook, put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn, you've got 5 stitches on the hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, and pull it through the next 2, and then pull it through the last 2, chain 2. So what you need to do is you need to have 12 treble clusters all the way around, and I'll meet you when I get here. And I've got to the last treble cluster, so wrap your yarn around your hook twice. It's always tricky as the last stitch on these magic rings. There we go. Put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn, pull it through. You've got 2 stitches on the hook, pull it through the first 2, and then pull it through the next 2. Leave 2 stitches on your hook. Then wrap your yarn around your hook twice, put your hook into the chain space, grab your yarn, you've got 5 stitches on your hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, and then pull it through the other 2. You've got 2 stitches on your hook. So wrap your yarn around the hook twice, put your hook into the chain space, grab the yarn, pull it through, you've got 5 stitches on your hook, pull it through the first 2, pull it through the next 2, pull it through the next 2, and then pull it through the last 2, chain 2. And then if you get your chain space that you did at the beginning, your 3 chain space, put it into the top of the chain. My cats came to say hello again every time I put the YouTube channel on. So you put your hook into your chain space at the top, grab your yarn, pull it through, put your hook over the top, and then pull it through. That's just called a slip stitch. And then just pull that through, put your hook underneath the chain space, and then pull that through. So altogether you should have 12 treble clusters around here. So what I'll do now is I'll just sew these ends in, go see to the cat again, and then I'll come back to you and I'll tell you what we do next. So that's what it should look like up to press. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a slip stitch into the any space, and we're going to put 3 double crochet. Sorry, we're going to chain 2, sorry. Then we're going to put another 2 double crochet into here. Oops. So including your chain, you should have 3 double. That's your chain, and then 2 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put another 3 double crochets into the next space. Oops. Chain 1, and then another 3 double crochets. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet to the next chain space. Chain 1, and that's what it should look like so far. So in every chain space you're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, and then when you get to here you should have 12 sets of 3 double crochets. So I'll come back to you when we get here. Right, I'm nearly at the end, so I've done 3 double crochets, I've chained 1, and I'm going to put another 3 double crochets into the last chain space. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and then just put a slip stitch into the top of this chain space here. Pull your yarn through. Oops. Managed to grab out of the border. And then just cut that off there. Pull your yarn through. Put your hook underneath, back underneath the chain, and then just grab that through like that, and then pull that through. So I shall show you what it should look like so far. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fasten in, sew these edges, sew these ends in, and then I'll come back to you and I'll show you what we do next. So what we've done so far is we've done a magic ring with the 12 double crochets, and then we've done a treble cluster into as magic ring, so that's 12, and then we've done 12 double crochets all the way around here. So now we're going to be making it into a square. So I'm going to use beige as you can see, I've got beige around the 4th row because that's going to be my square, and then this here is my border. So I'm going to use beige next, and we're going to be making it into a granny square now. So if I just put my yarn on my hooks, what we're going to do now is we're going to, in any space, put your hook and chain 2, 1, 2, and then put 3 double we put 2 double crochets, chain 2, 1, 2, and then 3 more double crochets into here. So this is going to be a corner. I'll show you just a minute. Oops. So we put 3 chain into there, and we put 2 double crochets, and we've chained 2 and then 3 more double crochets, chain 1, and then wrap your yarn around your hook and then put another 3 double crochets into the next chain space, chain 1, and then another 3 double crochets into the next chain space, 2, 3, chain 1, and then into this chain space it's going to be a corner. So we're going to put 3 double crochets, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2. Just pull some of my yarn out, make it easier for me to show you what to do. So we've put 3 double crochets into this chain space, 2 chain, and then we're going to put another 3 double crochets into here. That's 2, 3, chain 1. I'll just show you what it should look like. So you start with your corner, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, chain 1. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the exact same on this side all the way around. So then you're going to make yourself a granny square, and don't forget to put your chain 1 space between every 3 double crochets, and I'll tell you what we're doing next when we get to here. Right, I'm nearly at the end of this granny square, so I'm just going to put my 3 last double crochets into this chain space. That's 3, chain 1, and then put your hook into that chain space, pull that through. I'll just show you what it should look like up to press, because I'm not changing the colour of this yarn. I'm going to keep it because this is what I'm going to be using for the border. But if you change colour, just cut it off like we have been doing for these last 3 rows, and then I'll show you what we do next. Because we put a slip stitch into there, we want to put another slip stitch into this chain space, and then another slip stitch inside the chain space, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. This is going to be his corner, so we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to chain another 2. So really that's a chain 4, because that's going to be a double crochet and chain 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet. I'll explain to you, I'll just show you what I mean. Probably confusing you, because we've done a chain 4, it's going to be a double crochet plus 2 chain and then a double crochet, and across here altogether, including the other chain that's going to be in this corner, we should have 15 double crochets all the way across here. So that's 1, put a double crochet in top of the stitches all the way across, and after we've done these double crochets, like I said, we should have 15. So let's just count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to get your hook into the chain space. 11, 12, oops, 12, 13, 14, and then the last one's going to be in your chain space, in your corner, so that's going to be 15. I shall show you. So this is your corner, so we've already got a chain 2 plus another chain 2, that's this double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and then we should have 15 all the way across here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to put another double crochet into that corner space. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put 15 double crochet all the way across here. That's including the chain, and then that's including in the corner, then chain 2, and then another double crochet. So we're going to have another 15 double crochet down here, and then chain 2, and then another double crochet in your corner, and then 15 across here, and I'll come back to you when we get here. Right, I'm nearly at the end of this border. I'm just going to put my last double crochet into this chain space at the top of this double crochet, and then I'm just going to put a slip stitch in the top of this chain, pull that through, and then just pull that back through there, and then I shall show you what your square should look like. So we put 15 double crochets all the way around this square, and this is what it should look like. Just stretch it a little bit just so I can explain it a little bit better. So you should have 15 double crochets along there. In this corner, included the 15, you should have 2 chain and then another double crochet, then 15 along here, chain 2, then 15 along here, chain 2, and then 15 along here. So that's what your square should look like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can get a different coloured one to show you. My lampshade that I've just shown you, there's around for circumference, I think that's what it's called, is 7 granny squares joined together. So I'll just show you. That's 2, then 3. They're going to be different colour. I'm not going to join the same ones together, but I'm just trying to show you what I mean. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to join these 7 because my lampshade is not very wide. I only need 2 rows. I hope I'm explaining this. So I'll just try and explain to you. As you can see from the lampshade, I've only got 2 rows of granny squares all the way around it. So I'm going to join these together. I'll show you how to join them, but that's how my granny square lampshade's going to be. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So around my lampshade, as you saw earlier, it's got 7 granny squares all the way around joined. Right, I shall show you how to join them. So make sure your first two granny squares are facing the right way. Turn that one the wrong way, the top one, and then put that one on top of it. So the right side's facing you and the right way on facing down. So that's the right side, wrong side, wrong side. So the wrong sides are marrying each other. So it's like a sandwich. That's the right side and that's the right side. So I'll just get my yarn and I'll come back to you and I'll show you how to join them. Right, I've got my yarn. So on your back bottom granny square, in the top corner, do a slip stitch to join, and then chain 1, and then get your granny square on top of it, and in the first double crochet, not in the corner but in the first double crochet there, you're going to put a slip stitch into the top of the double crochet, chain 1, and then inside there, because you've put your slip stitch and your chain 1 inside the chain space, you're going to miss your first double crochet, and then in the second double crochet you're going to put a slip stitch and then chain 1, or slip stitch and then chain 1, sorry. And then in this chain space where you've put your first slip stitch and your chain 1, you're going to miss the next one, and then you're going to put a slip stitch into the next chain, slip stitch, chain 1. And then in the back you're going to miss that chain, and then you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. And then you're going to miss that next chain space, and into the next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. And into the where you've just put your last slip stitch in your chain, you're going to miss that chain space, and into the next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. So you're just missing a stitch, so you're going to miss that space, chain space, and into the next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, slip stitch, and then chain 1. And then you're going to miss the next chain space into there, and then to the next chain space you're going to put slip stitch, chain 1. Then you're going to miss that space, chain space, and you're going to put slip stitch, chain 1. And then you're going to miss that chain space, and into that next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. And then you're going to miss that chain space, and into the next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. And then you're going to miss that chain, and into the next chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. Then miss that chain space, and into the next chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. And then you're going to miss that chain space, and into the next chain space you're going to slip stitch, then chain 1. And then you've got 3 stitches. You should have 3 stitches left on your, have you got, no, 1, 2, 3. So in your next chain space you're going to put a slip stitch into the middle stitch, so you're going to put your hook underneath the chain space, pull that through, slip stitch, chain 1. And then you should be at the end of this, near this corner, sorry. So you're going to put your hook into the last chain space, pull your hook through the chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. You're not going to put your slip stitch, you're not going to put your hook into the last chain, you're going to put your hook inside the chain space where the corner is. So inside the corner you're going to put a slip stitch, then you're going to chain 1. And then inside this corner space on the back of this granny square you're just going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. And then your next one, to join that, you're going to put a slip stitch into that chain corner space, and then chain 1, and then get your next granny square, and into the first chain, if I can find it, which is, yeah, that's it, into the first stitch, which you can see here because that's your corner space where your chain 1 is, you're going to put your hook into there, and then you're going to do a slip stitch and then chain 1, and then not into the first double crochet, into the second one you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1, and then you're going to miss that chain space, and into the second chain space you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. So every time I take that out, it's going to be like that, look. So every time you join your granny squares, you're going to miss a stitch and then go to the back, miss a stitch on that, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and then I'll show you what we do again when we get to the end of here. Right, I'm nearly at the end of this, excuse me, I'm nearly at the end of this second granny square. So we're going to miss a stitch, and into the next stitch we're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1, and then we're going to put a slip stitch into that chain, slip stitch, chain 1, and then in the end of this stitch, at the last one before the corner, you're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1, and into the corner, not into the top of the double crochet, into the corner space, we're going to do slip stitch, chain 1, then we're going to join this next granny square. So I shall show you one more time what we do. So in the corner, you're going to put your hook, and you're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, and into your next granny square, into the top of the double crochet, not into the corner, into the top of the double crochet, into the first stitch, we're going to put a slip stitch and chain 1. So we're going to miss that first double crochet, into the second double crochet, double crochet, we're going to put a slip stitch and then chain 1. So we're going to miss that stitch, and into this stitch we're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep missing a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, right up till we get to the corner. So I'll show you again when we get to the corner. So we're nearly at the end of this third granny square. So we've missed a stitch, and into this next stitch we're going to put slip stitch, chain 1. Then we're going to miss a stitch, and then we're going to put a slip stitch into there, chain 1. And then to the last stitch at the back we're going to put slip stitch, chain 1. And we're going to miss that double crochet, and into this corner space we're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1. So go across like I've shown you all the way to the length, sorry, not to the length, to the size of your lampshade, like I've shown you in the beginning of this. So go all the way along there like I've shown you. I've got another 4 more to put on, well 8 altogether, 4 on the top row and 4 in this bottom row, because mine's 7. And then when I finish that, I'll come back to you and I'll show you what we do to join these together. I'm nearly at the end of this row. So you just put your hook into that chain space, do a slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, and then put your hook into there, slip stitch, chain 1, and then you put your hook into the last chain space at the back of the granny square, slip stitch, chain 1, and then you don't put your hook into the top of this double crochet, you put it into this corner, slip stitch, chain 1, and then into this corner, slip stitch, chain 1, and then you cut that off. I'll sew that in a minute. So it's quite long. I'm not going to be able to show you it all together because my table's not long enough. So I've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then on the top as well. So altogether for my lampshade covering, as I've showed you before, is 14. So what I'll do now is I could just get all these straightened out. I'll show you how to go down these middles. It's just the exact same as what we've done before. So what we're going to do, because we've got to start on the back, this is the end of this. This is the edge of one of the edges of the granny squares lampshade. You can start at either side. So I'm starting at this end, so that's the wrong side, that's the right side. So wrong side on top of wrong side, because you will be starting in this corner. So let me just get my yarn, just put a slip knot onto here. I've never made one of these before and I don't even know what this stitch is called, but I saw it on a pattern and I liked it, so I thought I'd show you it as well. So in this top corner, again you put slip stitch and chain 1. So again, into here in your corner space, you're not going into that corner space, you're going into your first stitch on top of the double crochet. So you're going to put slip stitch into there and then a chain 1. And then again, you've got your slip stitch and your chain 1 there, so you're going to miss that chain space and you're going to go into the second one. So you're just going to put a slip stitch into there, chain 1. You're going to miss that chain space and then into the next chain space, you're going to do a slip stitch, whoops, slip stitch, chain 1. So again, you're just going to keep missing your stitches. So you're going to miss that stitch and then chain, sorry. Then you're going to put your hook into that chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. And again, you're going to miss that chain space and into that chain space, you're going to put slip stitch, chain 1. And again, miss that chain space, into that chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. When I get to this middle here, I should come back and I'll show you what to do next. Right, we're at the end of this, sorry, not at the end, we're at the join. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a slip stitch into there, into the chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. And when you get your corner space here, put a slip stitch into there, chain 1, and then into your first stitch, which is here, put slip stitch, chain 1, then miss that first stitch, into this stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and then you're going to miss that stitch and then you put your slip stitch, chain 1, and then miss the next stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and then again miss chain, slip stitch, chain 1, and miss a chain, slip stitch into the next chain space, slip stitch, chain 1, then you're going to miss your chain and then into the next chain space you're going to slip stitch, chain 1. So all you're going to do is miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, and I'll come back to you when we get to this corner here. Right, I'm at the end of this granny square, so we're going to put a slip stitch, chain 1, and then to the top of this double crochet to this chain space. If it wants to go in, there we go, slip stitch, chain 1, and then into this corner, slip stitch, chain 1, and then a slip stitch into there, chain 1, and fasten off. So that's what it should look like. Up to press. Yeah, I suppose you could use probably any joining if you want, if you find that this one's a bit tricky. It's just that I saw it on the pattern, what I was doing, and I thought, quite nice is that. I'll try it on this granny square lampshade. So I'll show you one more time how to join these. Better make sure that they're the right way, haven't I? I thought that didn't look right. Right, I'll show you one more time how to join these together and then you can crack on and finish it. So these 4 here that these 2 that we've just joined, so there's going to be 4 there. We're going to turn them over so it's like that. So you've got your 4 there on the bottom, and then your other 2, it's going to be there. Always make sure you've got a granny square here, because you always start in the top right hand corner. So if you do that, top right hand corner, you won't go wrong. So I'll just get my yarn. It's just slipped off the table. There we go. So I'll just put a slip knot onto my hook. So into this top corner, into this right corner, we're going to do a slip stitch. Oops, if it wants to go in, and then chain 1. So we're going to join it onto the top of the first stitch, not in the corner, on the top of the first stitch, this chain here, slip stitch, chain 1. Then we're going to, because it's this joining's in between the chain space, so we're not going to go on the first double crochet, we're going to go into the second, we're going to do slip stitch, chain 1, then we're going to miss that stitch, to the next stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, then we're going to miss that stitch, and into this stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, into that chain, miss that chain space, into this chain space here, chain, we're going to slip stitch, chain 1. So we're going to miss that chain space, and into that chain space there, slip stitch, chain 1. So we're going to miss a stitch and then put a slip stitch into the next one, chain 1. So all it is miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1 on the back, miss a stitch on the front, slip stitch, chain 1. I'll come back to you and I'll show you what we do when we get to this middle here. Right, I'm at the joining, so we're going to miss that stitch and then into this next stitch here, slip stitch, chain 1. I'm going to miss that stitch and then we're going to put a slip stitch into the chain space, chain 1, and then find your corner space, which is here, put a slip stitch into there, and then chain, oops, try not to lose your stitch like I nearly have, and then chain 1. So into this space here, into this stitch here, we're going to do slip stitch, and then chain 1, then we're going to miss that stitch and into this stitch, slip stitch, chain 1. Just pull some more of this yarn out, and then we're going to miss that chain there, into this chain space, we're going to do a slip stitch, chain 1, and then just keep on going, miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, just move that hair there, and then miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a stitch, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a chain space, into the next chain space, slip stitch, chain 1. That's what you're going to do all the way till you get to the end. Miss a chain space, slip stitch, chain 1, miss a chain space, slip stitch, chain 1, and I'll come back to you when I get to the end here. Right, I'm nearly at the end of this row, so we've missed a chain and then we're going to put a slip stitch into there, chain 1, miss a chain space, put a slip stitch into there, chain 1, and then a slip stitch into the last chain space, then chain 1, and then slip stitch, chain 1 into that corner, and then into this corner, slip stitch just to finish this off, and then a chain 1. Let's just cut that off. So these ends in a minute. Oops. So that's what it should look like. If you find this join in stitch a bit too difficult, just do ones what you find easiest. There's no right or wrong joining stitch. I just thought I'd try it and see what it looked like. It looks quite nice. So I've got another 1, 2, I've got another 4 more joins to do, and I'll come back to you when I get to the end and I'll show you what we do next. I've just come back on to tell you to make sure when you're joining your grannies, make sure you've always got the one on the bottom, so you can always start in this right hand corner. You can't go wrong if you always make sure you've got one on the bottom, start in the right hand corner, slip stitch, chain 1, and then put your first slip stitch, chain 1 into the first stitch on this side, and then you just miss 1, slip stitch, chain 1, miss 1, slip stitch, chain 1, and when I get to the end of this I'll show you what we do next. But when you do these as well, make sure that they're the right way, because they can quite easily turn themselves over like I've just done, nearly joined them together. So just make sure you got it on the bottom, start in the right hand corner, and when you go along make sure that they're not turned over, because you'll have one right side and one wrong side. So I'll come back to you once I've joined all these together. Right, I've sewn all these granny squares together, as you can see. I've left this down one because I'm just hoping it'll fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all these ends in. I just wanted to show you because this end here, it looks like you've got a V there. So what I'm going to do, sorry, is just get your yarn needle and just sew it into that square, into that corner, and then just it'll pull it across and make it a little bit neater. You could put a border on it if you want, but I'm not going to bother putting a border on because it's only for my lampshade in my bedroom. So again, just get your yarn needle and just sew your yarn across into there. I'll just square it off a little bit. So I'll come back to you when I've sewn all these ends in, squared them all off like I've just showed you, and when I sew these together, and we'll fit it on my lampshade and hope it fits. Right, I've sewn all the ends in. I've sewn it together. So it's a round circle. So all we need now is my lampshade. And let's hope it fits. And is it too big? Oh, looks like it's got a border on it, which is nice. It fits lovely. I shall show you. Just give me 1 second. And that's it on my lamp. Quite happy with that actually. Turn the light off and I'll put the lamp on it. I'll see what it looks like. So there it is. Quite pleased with that actually. One granny square lampshade. I hope yours turns out nice as well.